Me have to hold it till my last breath. Go up star, make them know say we God bless. Cha. Me born in all the struggle in our life. No food for you when lunch and supper time. Daddy on a job, him on the 9 to 5. Him left the foreign in search for a better life.
Welcome to another episode of ReggaeTalk Podcast. You're listening to yours truly, Budan, aka at Reggae Music Forever. And today we're joined with a couple special guests. You know what I mean? So this episode has been long. It's in the making, and we're very, very happy that we're actually happen to make it happen today. Where is it for real?
Got your co-host in the building, aka for real, the realist, right here again. Episode 7. We're here to give you what you need at Reggae Talk.
Yeah, Reggae Talk. I mean, we can't come with the fire every week. You know the thing set, but when we do bring it, we bring the fire. We bring it hot. You know what I mean? And this week we have two special guests, two of the top producers who are really creating waves in the hip hop and reggae realms at the moment. You know what I mean? And they just happen to be our family. You know, it's what I say. So I'm gonna introduce the first top producer to you. He goes by the name of LMR Pro. LMR, what going, dog?
Welcome, Budan.
Yeah man. And we have Trilogy Music.
Yo, all gone.
Yo, dog. Janu, I want to tell us it's a joy. It's a joy, man, because from ReggaeTalk Podcast actually came to fruition, and you know what I say, we do a thing. We always had this vision of, you know what I mean, bringing both of you guys here in the studio, and you know what I mean, when you booked and busy, it's hard. You see me, I say for real, man, them book and busy.
Them one of my top producer, you know. Right now, we gotta put off some bookings right now just to be here, so we appreciate the presence.
Yeah, today's Saturday. You know what I mean? Enough man I ring off a dog them phone and say, yo, brother, how I going? You know what I mean?
Voice I tuned in, brother.
That's facts.
When Elmo walked in earlier, he was like, yo, Mr. Dog, appreciate you coming. He's like, man, yo, a family thing. You know what I mean? If I'm a family thing,
right.
Be in the studio right now making it happen. You know what I mean? Trilogy, likewise. So man, I say, so you wanna know, yo, Trilogy, tell let the people know who is Trilogy Music. You know what I mean? Who you are, you know, work you've done in the music industry. Let them know.
Well, my most prominent song is with Chris Brown on his last album. I did Get the Strap with 50 Cent, 6ix9ine, Uncle Murda, and a lot of other stuff, you know, on the hip hop side.
Yeah.
But I was born and raised in Jamaica. So, you know, I just made that transition.
Yeah, man.
From everything.
So you have the versatility then to
versatility.
Yeah, as far as dancehall music and hip hop.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's a versatility somewhat, but I never ventured into the dancehall realm as of yet.
Okay. All right.
But dog, hold on. I've known you for like pushing 20 years now. You just said your most prominent track is Chris Brown. Chris Brown is a big time artist.
That's a dancehall.
That's a dancehall track,
right? But bro, I played you that beat when I made it. When I came over here, I played you the beat the day I made it.
You definitely
like,
did.
yo, it have vibes.
What song was that again on the album?
It's called I Love Her.
That's a quick plug, you know.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I love her. So peeps, go check it out.
Right now, what is like
multi-platinum?
What's the numbers? What's the numbers?
20 million?
The album is like over 1 billion streams.
Oh man,
over 1 billion streams.
Yeah, the album.
Did you get the plaque already? Or?
Yeah, I got the plaque already. I'm about to order my double platinum plaque.
Oh man,
so that mean that publishing. What that publishing like, man? The publishing still, dog.
That publishing is great, man.
Yeah, man. And then the Get the Strap. Yo, Get the Strap is probably one of the most. It's colossal.
It's colossal.
It's a movement
record right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Get the Strap.
Get the Strap with 50 Cent, Uncle Murda, Tekashi 6ix9ine.
It's like bringing New York back.
You know what I mean? Casanova. Trilogy's the one who produced it from scratch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's an independent record, so you know.
Yeah. Trilogy, one of our own.
More money.
Oh man,
Jamaican.
Right now he talking that bag talk. He's saying, yo, that's
Trilogy,
independent.
Getting the bag. You know what I mean? So those are just a couple peeps. Those are just a couple of the million. Well, we won't say millions, but the number of records that Trilogy has, you know, has his imprint on from scratch. But me go talk to LMR. You see me? I say,
yeah.
LMR, Oh, I going, dog?
There, man.
Yeah, man. So let the people them know who LMR Pro is.
Producer / engineer.
Mad.
The best are mainly known for Kranium's records, his first few breakout records. The Rumors Project, Nobody Has to Know, featuring Ty Dolla $ign, Lifestyle, History, Can't Give a F, Between Us.
Those are the
Well,
biggest.
hold on.
That's the catalog.
That's the catalog right
That's the
there.
whole catalog, man.
Yo, where's the for real? Hold on.
Yo.
Say it again.
That's the whole catalog, man. That's the hit records, man.
When Kranium get the phone call and say, yo, Kranium,
Yo,
we
need you to come do Nobody Has to Know.
Those are the songs Kranium fans.
His first
By way,
few records, yeah.
Nobody Has to Know. Hold on. You tell us again.
Nobody Has to Know featuring Ty Dolla $ign. The
Big time.
remix. That's Lifestyle, Between Us. And those are the three with the video. That's from the Rumors Project, his first project with Atlantic Records.
By the way, that was a really good album.
Yeah.
Was Ricky Blaze. I produced 5, Ricky Blaze produced the other 5, so it was only us 2.
Split down the middle. Nice.
Yeah, man.
I like the fact that he kept it true to the New York-based production.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. And I think LMR, you did history, right? Did you?
Yeah, I did history as well.
Yeah, we make history. It's a man I say.
Outside of creative.
So guys, you see we have in the building right now, we have dancehall producer coming from that standpoint, and we have a hip hop producer. But they both dabble into both genres as well. But so we're gonna have a really good discussion.
So we thought this episode is necessary. Is really necessary with what's going on in music right now, in pop music, with hip hop music, with the fusion. You know what I mean? So we thought it was very, very, you know what I mean, imperative for us to bring Trilogy on and bring LMR on because of what's happening in music with the hip hop industry that everybody want to kind of get a little bit of the Jamaican flavor,
Right.
You know what I mean? Then with
the
tropical house,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And then with the Afro beats, it's really popping right now.
Oh, definitely.
You know, and
Reggaeton.
and then with the reggaeton and the Latin, and guess what? The lineage. When you listen to all those fusion, they all trace back to
Even
Jamaican
Reggae.
music.
Even Bali. Even Bali music.
Bali. That's the Brazilian.
That's the Indian.
Good music.
I thought you meant that Bali funk or something, whatever that is. That's
funk, right?
Bali
Yeah,
funk.
yeah,
That's down in Brazil.
Right.
In Brazil, it still has the Jamaican influence.
Right.
So, you know, Trilogy, he's most known for Chris Brown's I Love Her record. If you really listen to it, peeps, go check out Chris Brown's album with Trilogy music, I Love Her.
Best song on the album.
Best song on the album.
Hands down.
If you really listen to it, you know what I mean? And then Kranium isn't really like a hardcore boom 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 dancehall artist. If you really listen to Kranium music, it has the hip hop influence as well.
It's a fusion of hip hop and R&B.
It's a fusion, you know. So
True.
we thought it was
And
yeah, man.
dancehall, of course.
And the dancehall. So we thought it would be great to bring these guys in and just kind of like, you know, let them speak about, you know, the state of music and you know, their process and, you know, how they feel about what's going on at the moment.
So the first question is, I'm gonna start off. LMR, what influenced your music? Like, what sounds influence you to produce?
What made me start producing?
Yeah, we can start there.
I wanted to be a DJ. I don't really like to talk, so just the selecting aspect of it. And then
I mean, like, yo.
Nah, you would never.
That reminds me of Touch. Yeah.
And then from there, I think I was introduced to Fruity Loops, which I still use to this day, which Trilogy uses as well.
Nice.
And then from producer to necessity was engineering.
Nice.
And then from engineering to videography, like
Right. No,
everything on the necessity.
Your catalog is huge. Now, when you started producing, was it like natural, and who would you listen to before, like as your influence, like production wise?
I can't. John FX, Cloud9 rhythm. That was one of them that said I
remember
that rhythm to this day. Like I still play it, and that meeting him, knowing him, and seeing him play like as a musician.
Right.
That probably make me want to like produce. I mean,
man.
Genius, Don Corleone, Timbaland, those people.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, man. And that rhythm, the Cloud9 rhythm, for those of you guys who are not familiar with that rhythm, that's
rhythm.
the Egyptian. I can feel your pain.
I wait book
Even
alive.
if you're 1,000 miles
That was
away.
a big rhythm.
Yeah, man. That rhythm, when that rhythm drop, it give me like a little R&B feel.
That
but
is
it's still,
definitely a mixture.
yeah, but it still have like, like a Jamaican vibes and thing.
Yeah. That rhythm like led to me finding out who did the recording, who did the mixing. Bonsai. I think Bonsai recently mixed Chronix's album.
Oh wow.
Like as engineer, like that is all of the producer is dope. The person behind the board is dope. Like
Right.
people don't really search those things.
Yeah.
It's something to, if you like a song, find out who's behind it.
Definitely.
Definitely important to do your research, and that's probably why you found the passion to be a mixer as well, just to mix your own record, produce your own record, master it.
I mean, sometimes you end up paying somebody for a service they know nothing about. So sometimes it's best to educate yourself.
That's true. It's
Yeah.
best to do things. Yeah, if you want it done right, you do it yourself. DIY. I mean, Dancehall Dave knows a lot about this. This man does everything himself. He makes.
Yeah, man. Dancehall Dave, that's our executive producer.
Yeah, he makes all type of furniture along with Infra Rebel. He's not here right now.
Yeah, man. But LMR, question. So you said the Cloud9 rhythm, that's really what inspired you to make music, but Cloud9 rhythm is not really
Old.
Yeah, man, it's old, but as far as like the Jamaican music element of that rhythm itself, the sound of it is more like it's R&B. It's R&B. And I mean you're Jamaican. So who were some of your
Jamaican.
yeah.
A lot of the records that appealed to me, I realized weren't necessarily like straight reggae.
Yeah.
Like even Sizzler's was it? Does it not Dry Cry?
No, give me
a try.
Right.
Yeah.
Highway and I Need Her In Our Arms. Like if you listen to those records, those are like R&B beats.
So those are the ones that spoke to you.
Yeah, and then a lot of them that like singing sweet, Old Donna, like that's a sing over.
Oh, damn.
That's a Richie Valens original. I mean, that's a dope.
Yeah, man.
The rhythm is on his dancehall, but the lyrics and songwriting is necessary.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a sing over,
So you like a fusion. So you like a fusion. You don't like because Jamaican music has an identity when it comes to the drum and bass from way back when.
Not to say even much so does the fusion, like the beat. You can't dance to acapella.
Yeah.
And you can't sing along to a beat, so both complement each other.
Right.
But when you really like the records that I like, the Beanie Man Toy Friend Boyfriend song.
Right.
She don't really. It's only recently I realized like that part of the song I like it, and it's
I
just
just
a sing
found
over.
out someone wrote that song. I forgot who wrote it, but
I don't know who wrote it, but I know
Right.
the original is a sing over. It's like a remake of an original
Gringo.
song.
Gringo wrote it.
Yeah.
Gringo wrote it.
All right. So, I mean, in recent years, the music has changed. Like everyone is, the generations turned over, and everyone is. It's like everyone is complaining about how the sound of dancehall has changed. Like it's become hip hop. It's become R&B, and we see in recent, for example, Angel Saska's album. He just put out a new album, Hope River. I love that album, and it's kind of like an elixir. He doesn't really. There's the one drop on there, and it's like a fusion. It's like a fusion, and people love the album. People love the album, and everything is great feedback. But it's not the traditional Jamaican drum and bass sound. What do you think? What do you think about the music changing? Like people are complaining that the music hip hop out and the thing R&B out and the Jamaican music this. What do you think about this? Because you're telling me that your sound is Cloud9. You like fusion music and all that stuff. So you don't think Jamaican music should have an identity?
It does have identity, and with the artists and the songs and the lyrics, that's what you can identify with. Because if you put Kendrick and Sasko,
yeah,
he's still a dancehall artist on the chorus. What else? Who else did he collab with recently?
Oh, Kendrick?
No, I'm saying Assassin.
Oh, yeah, he was on...
Like, no matter what the beat, even Bounty Killer with No Doubt and stuff like that, like, it's still
Clips.
dancehall.
I think it was on Clips.
What's Super Cat?
Yeah.
Right.
The beats, though, like, the original...
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Back in the early 90s, most of the dancehall artists were on R&B, Motown, hip-hop.
Even Barry's.
So
Barry's on TV. Like, Barry's...
I agree with you. I agree with you. So it's the lyrics that kind of give the identity.
Yeah.
Right.
So you don't think Trilogy? What do you think? What's more important? You think the rhythm itself? Cause remember Jamaican music, especially the dancehall, not the reggae roots, where the artists are really articulating their words and people can hear what they're saying. With the dancehall music, it's more raw. You don't think it's you don't. What do you think about the track, the rhythm itself? You don't think it has to be like?
I think.
What do you think?
I think with when it comes to dancehall music, it's more so a vibe, and you have to have that dancehall vibe, and that's what I think translated to the hip hop scene.
What is a dancehall vibe?
Listen,
Drum and bass, snare.
Not even
the drum pattern.
It's just a drum and bass,
and that's what you. I don't want to cut you off, but really and truly, that's what I really hear in the crossover hip hop. With the influence, so, I hear the drum and bass.
Do you think it could change though? Do you think that pattern could change, evolve? You don't think it could? You don't think it should change?
I don't think you should move away from what's working.
What do you think, LMR?
It's been working since the 90s.
So hold on. So LMR has. It seems like LMR has one philosophy.
Let's ask.
And Trilogy.
All right.
Trilogy does.
So LMR, do you think it should change or evolve into a different pattern?
There's no one drum pattern that's dance. I mean, there's something that you can identify with, but there's no one drum pattern that says this is dance.
So you don't think it should be one?
I don't think so.
Right.
Like, there's a 4 to the floor where it's like a kick, boom, 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 boom. That's like, that can be in dance or that can be. That's reggae one drop is normally like a.
I'm not so much concerned about the drum pattern. It's a vibe.
The vibe, definitely.
So then there shouldn't be like one pattern then, is what you're saying.
Everybody's familiar with that one pattern.
So, but
it doesn't mean that.
But do you think every song should have that one pattern?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. So then I guess we got both of them on the same page.
But what about? I mean, again, I always talk about the identity of music. When people who are not really familiar with our culture, when they hear certain music, they automatically connect our sound with our music with a particular sound.
The identity goes back to the producer then. The producer curates the sound. Because when you have a certain swing or a groove, you can say, that's Dave Kelly.
Right.
That's War 21.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Like certain reggae thing, so that's probably Pentos, that's Bobby Digital.
Yeah.
So
So
if
it's
you
not
go
like
take it back, Don Corleone or Steven, like certain drum pattern or certain things that they probably invented.
Even Genius.
Yeah, like I said, Steven, like him, like they curate a certain sound or
So
change the whole dynamic of it.
When it comes to dance or reggae music, so you won't say there's a holistic identity? Like when outsiders, quote unquote outsiders, hear our music, you don't think they should right away? They're like, oh man, that's Jamaican music, or you don't think
it's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
There's a vibe to it, and the artist, as long as them can understand what's happening there.
All right,
but I don't think it. What I'm hearing is I don't think it's a concrete identity. I think it's just a vibe coming from a specific producer and a specific artist.
No, when you hear it, you know it.
Right. Well, yeah, I agree with you.
But see now the problem is that identity has been lost over the years.
That's what I'm trying to get at, because
the people we're talking about is the foundation: Don Corleone, Dave Kelly, Patrick Roberts.
All right,
those are the foundations for dancehall.
So
music.
would you say dancehall is sounding more like hip hop or R&B now?
Yes.
Okay.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Me personally, that's why I moved away from that.
So let me give you.
Hold on. So Trilogy, you said dancehall change and you just left it because the thing had changed and the thing not sound like what it used to be and the thing in a nice again.
Yeah, because I don't identify with what's going on now.
All right, so I'm gonna tell you a little. I'm gonna make a reference. It's a little interview I watched the other day on Nightly Fix. Yeah, man, big up Nara and Ari from Nightly Fix. I was watching an interview with Jades, that's Idonia's producer. He's also an artist. Out of the fourth generation camp. So Jades was saying, Jades is a young kid. I don't think he's 25, probably 22, 23. Young youth. So Jades was talking about his influence in music, you know what I mean? And he kind of referenced Stephen the Genius back in the 2008 and 2000, you know what I mean, the 2007, when Stephen the Genius was kind of like fusing hip hop with the dancehall, and then it kind of took off.
Yeah.
And the music progressively changed over to like the hip hop sound.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that it's a generation gap. Jade said that's the kind of music he makes, but Jade's only makes what he knows, what influenced him at the time. So would you say that it's the generation turned over and people have different tastes based on things that's going on, based on what they're hearing at the generation that they're coming up? You wouldn't say it's a generation gap?
It's not a generation gap. Just like how you said he was like, he's what, 22?
Yeah.
I'm not 22.
So that's a generation gap.
When I came up, the same way he relate to Steven,
Yeah.
I relate to Dave Kelly.
Yeah, but that's a generation gap because what he likes, you don't like.
But
No, but you have people
no. But listen,
Yeah.
with everything from my generation, everything went to a global level at one point.
That's a great point because it's still music from like the 90s, early 2000s is still being reproduced today.
I'm gonna make a point. If Red Rat's song, "Hey, you girl in a tight up skirt," come on, these people don't know how to speak patois or nothing. That song come on, they singing along with it.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, they got to get back to the fundamentals of dancehall music.
Yeah. LMR, what do you think? What do you think about, the sound of the... You wanna add on to what Trilogy is saying? Because you guys seem to have different philosophies when it comes to the sound of Jamaican music. The sound of the dancehall rhythm.
No, if I'm not that, I'm not myself. Because I nobody has to know, for example, that doesn't sound like a typical dancehall rhythm. If you remove that snare, that's probably like a R&B beat. Something like with the drum pattern.
And it works. And it's massive.
But sometimes it's literally like a drum pattern thing. Like a lot of these... Yeah. Right. Any song can be remixed on any beat. So
right.
Yeah. The beat and the groove is what move it.
Yeah. Because I know a lot of people who they get very aggravated when they hear some of these rhythms and these songs. Them say, boy, I'm not dancing all this, dog. I can't listen to this. I'm gonna say, yo, dog.
It's the producers, man.
It's a producer and it's a vibe.
Yeah.
You know why? Because you got people that's not from Jamaica, that's so-called doing dancehall music or doing reggae music, and they winning. Yeah. How you winning?
All right,
It's a different format and structure, though.
No, but it got to come back to the foundation. It has to come back to the roots.
So you say certain elements from Jamaican music should always be present in Jamaican music when it's on the production side.
That's how I feel personally, because it's like
what elements though?
Because listen, somebody that grew up in Jamaica and been listening to reggae music all their life, somebody from London should not be able to duplicate that.
Brother, is music theory still like...
No, it's not. Because it comes down to a vibe. It comes down to a vibe.
Nah. I'm going to disagree.
Yo, I like this conversation.
I'm going to disagree because I have a bassist, Evan. He's not from Jamaica. He's not African-American. And no, he's from Kansas. And Evan, he's a wicked bassist player. My keyboard player, my drummer Danny, who played for Cableton Sizzler, they think this guy is the best bass because it's not because he listens, right? So when you listen, you can learn and you're easier to mold and to say he has this natural bassist vibe of playing the reggae music, natural, and he's not from Jamaica. So I have to disagree there.
Listen, you talking about somebody imitating what's already created.
Let me give
this is what you're saying.
Gotcha. I see.
Because he's imitating what's already created.
Right.
We are the creators as Jamaicans, so we are creating the vibe for the world to imitate. So now
what if someone learns it? Because there's a
this is what's happening now.
Manu.
This guy from Spain.
This guy from Spain. This guy plays better than. I don't want to even say, but he's really good. He's really good. He's
the one that recreates all the classic.
But he makes his own as well, and it's really wicked. It's really good.
He
proves on it.
You got something. You saying something? You have something to say?
I'm saying it's just the elements. You can't put location to it because that's why you have all of these subgenres. A lot of it have like dancehall elements in it, but there's still identity to the artist or to the producers. Afrobeats is like a lot of it is dancehall. A lot of them chanting the same lyrics. Just different beats of production.
That's a good segue.
That's not what I'm saying, but it's just like
it's not that making it coming from Jamaica is more authentic. But there's a lot of like dope reggae producers in Europe. Yeah, Gentleman and even a lot of these artists, Khalid P, that are from like different countries. Yeah. I just found out somebody, where is he from? Russia or Portugal or one of those places. Richie Campbell.
Yeah, man.
But it's song I heard in a while and that's dancehall and he's not from Jamaica.
Exactly. Because they have they have a portion of music to study and understand. Because you don't have to be from Jamaica to understand to study the music.
You must sing patois and that beats out like that. So
Right.
But he's not from Jamaica.
But listen, but this is to go back to the problem with Jamaica.
Okay.
They want to sound like they from somewhere else.
All right, question. Question. All right, yeah.
Hip-hop, right.
I'm a question now, and this is something that I always take exception to. So, the Jamaican sound, times change, tastes change, generation turnover. A lot of the new generation sound is very fusion with the hip hop and all that stuff, R&B, whatever. LMR says a vibe and thing. But why is it that when the Afro beats, the all these other genres, reggaeton come from one rhythm. Dembo rhythm.
Yeah.
And they milked it.
Why is it that when these other genres, they sample our music, why does it always sound like what we call Jamaican music, the identity? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're saying. LMR is saying that it's a vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's the artist, it's the producer. But whenever outsiders, quote unquote outsiders, sample our music, it's always what we call dancehall or reggae music, whatever you want to call it. It always that identity, that sound, that little element. Always go back to that element whenever they sample our music. Why is it?
We created something good, something so good that they have to sample it. Now,
so why do we want to constantly move away from it?
But maybe we have the opportunity to create something even greater, right? So we shouldn't, because we created something great.
Trilogy shaking his head now.
We lived
not every dancehall song that you can say quote unquote crossover sounds the same. If you put all of them and play them next to each other, there's no particular structure that is cohesive with all of them.
That's a great point.
I like the idea about the vibes. I like the idea about the vibes.
Right.
So
Because
vibes.
at the end of the day, remember the what Trilogy you're talking about the beat, the one drop, the specific type of rhythm that I instantly identify what reggae dancehall is, right?
Boof buff.
But but guess what? That wasn't always the case. I remember saying that established mostly in the 80s and all that. So
it worked in the 90s.
It worked in the 80s, worked in the 90s and 2000s. But guess what? Now we're about to hit 2020. It has to be an evolution.
All right, let's look at some other hits that made it.
It's not an evolution. People got to go back to the roots. Why did that work? Understand in the 90s, why was this song such a big hit? Why was Buju Banton able to cross over
Take
and
hits
do
from the
hip hop?
80s. That's what
And
Diddy
do
did.
hip hop. This was in the 90s.
Right.
That's what Diddy did.
But there are artists that did it as
Diddy's
well.
rich because he remixed 80s music.
So listen, when Buju Banton come out with "Walk Like a Champion," "Talk Like a," why was that a hip hop hit?
That was a hip hop rhythm.
Well, pause.
It was.
That was a hip hop rhythm.
Yeah.
Hip hop rhythm.
No,
the
original song was not a hip hop rhythm. He crossed over and did
the original was a hip hop rhythm. If you listen to it now, it's not a typical dancehall.
No,
it has a hip hop. It has a lot of hip hop elements to it.
But he has a dancehall vibe to it.
The artists make it
The
dance.
artist, the song
that
that goes back to
make
what
it.
he said.
But you can't say it's a hip hop rhythm.
All right, pause. Great example.
LMR.
Europe. Like when I was in high school in Jamaica, Europe came out with a mixtape.
Yeah.
Everything was a hip hop beat, and it was a dancehall artist over all hip hop beats. And one of the breakout songs, I think, was reproduced by TJ. I must have said them a gangster and them girl around them head.
yeah.
That's originally a Tupac beat.
That's Tupac beat, yeah.
But trust me, that song was playing everywhere until it was reproduced. That was dancehall to the core. You can't say them would have just played that by itself, and that's in the parties, in the dancehall. So
let me ask you a question. When it comes to Jamaican music, reggae dancehall music, what's more important, the rhythm or the lyrics?
both. You can't dance to a cappella and you can't sing to a beat.
I'm not.
So what if people don't hear what you're saying? They can't really understand what you're saying, but they can rock to the beat.
It's a vibe. That's why I always say it's a vibe.
So what creates the vibe?
Because listen,
Because Kranium song has a vibe and it's an R&B.
Because when I talk to my American friends, they always say, yo, I like that 90s stuff. I like that old stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know what they're saying, but I could. Yeah.
because them can rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, when you give them the R&B and the hip hop stuff, you know what I mean? The energy changes. We can understand the words, the lyrics, but they can't. But then you give them the R&B beat, and the
That's why-
Jamaican patois.
But
But
I want to say
lyrics are
that's a
understanding the
generational
words.
gap too, man. That's
play-
that's just
to
them
play- to
being
play
that's
devil's-
just them be old and just saying and not want to deal with change. So you
don't-
can't
you-
say because
point.
just because they say it's not good. They're old and they still want to stuck in their ways. You know that's
play devil's advocate. All
Yeah.
of these people that we kind of reference as like pioneers, they're
Yeah.
still producing that type of sound, and it's not necessarily reaching the same platforms.
right.
Yeah.
That's a great point. Generation gap.
All of these people that we mentioned, they still actually produce that dancehall.
big,
So.
the big time producers them.
Yeah.
Like
But it's like
yeah,
it goes back to like you got to understand, and it's a saying in life. Period. You got to know where you're coming from to know where you're going.
Definitely.
So,
yo, it's dancehall.
Hold on, I got a huge question right now for Trilogy because I see he's advocating for the old school dancehall. I know for a fact that Trilogy advocates for the old school hip hop, that New York sound. So there's a little contradiction there.
Get the
You gotta
strap.
speak on that. Come on,
No, it's not. It's
Get the
not.
strap.
get the strap.
No. You know why? It's not a contradiction because
Get the strap.
I understand the fundamentals, and that's what it all
you have to know your
based.
history.
You have to know your history. You have to know what's worked
Right?
in the
I
past.
agree with you.
So it's not a guessing game.
Right,
So this worked in the 90s.
right.
So you got to understand and you got to study, why did this work? Why was this record such a hit? And you got to study it.
Yo,
A quick question. I mean, transitioning. Do you think hip hop respects dancehall? I mean, we all know dancehall
the
respects
new
hip-hop.
age, the
Nah,
new age hip hop,
they know- you
the
know
new
what they-
age hip hop artists. You think they really respect that Jamaican music,
They
dancehall
do.
music?
They do. Some of them.
Some of them.
Yeah.
No, they,
So how come we don't see the collaborations, like the real collaborations?
The credibility.
you know what? Because
They sampling our music, the sound, but
Yeah, so
dancehall
wait,
music
wait.
get lost with the Afro beats. It gets mixed up in that whole thing.
So
you
when
see
you
We're gonna
say
get to
they
that.
respect elements of the music,
But they don't
then they're
understand-
respecting the artist.
No,
they're
but
not
they-
respecting the.
like I said in the previous episode,
understand
they
where the
got one
elements
foot
come
in,
from.
Right.
1 foot out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
So listen, you don't understand where the elements come from, so you're just gonna gravitate to what's hot right now, but you don't understand the history
Great point.
behind where it's coming from.
Right.
Great point. What's hot right now? Everybody want to.
Everybody just gravitates
Jump
to what's
on
hot
what's hot.
right now. So Afrobeats is hot right now, but Afrobeats came from what Afrobeats came from.
The fusion between
a fusion.
dancehall, soca, all of
And
Exactly.
African influence. LMR, what do you think? What do you think? Does hip hop? You said hip hop. You said they do respect dancehall. The new age. I'm not talking about the old school hip hop artists because the old school hip hop artists, they love Jamaican culture and music, and it was what I mean the history is there with the collaborations, but I don't really see it with the new kids.
Yeah, I saw a video recently of Trippie Redd dancing like in his car, vibing to nobody else to know. Like
Of who?
Trippie Redd.
Trippie Redd.
I seen
Like
that.
that's a
Pardon my
that's
ignorance.
a new.
I don't know who that is.
New school to the core.
He's the one that
I'm feeling old right
he's
now.
the one that bust before
Tekashi.
Tekashi, and that
I'm feeling old right
They
now,
were in
man.
the same group, so they actually now they got their rivals.
Most of the videos I see with these artists, these hip hop urban artists, vibing Jamaican music, it be like the older guys.
No, Lil Kim just put
Smoot,
Lil Kim
Snoop.
just did put she did a dance or she put Kranium on there.
But Lil Kim is old.
yeah.
That's when hip hop and dancehall.
A Boogie just did a collab with
We're making
Alkaline.
love together.
A Boogie just did a
That's when they were making love.
Listen,
Hey,
and
Boogie.
Lil' Kim biggest verse was "What the Blood Clot,"
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Her biggest verse in history.
Yeah.
That's when hip hop and
verse
dancehall
came-
was in love. That's when it was really good chemistry. The relationship was going. And, you know
But
what I
it got
mean?
lost.
But look, man.
But now I think they're just taking elements. Why don't I see these artists in Jamaica? I don't mean like when they fall off and they trying to get a little. Whenever you fall off, you go to Jamaica, try to get a little buzz. I mean like at the peak of pinnacle of your career. Why don't I see you in Jamaica? These new kids, like who's hot right now? Drake talks the most about Jamaican music, and I've yet to see Drake go to Jamaica and collaborate with Popcorn or anybody else.
I mean, Drake in his intro stages, he did I Better Find You Loving,
True.
and he shot that video in Jamaica
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
with my brother now. Them say can't say
Right,
that.
right. He's
Real
definitely-
thing.
Drake,
LMR.
Drake.
Okay.
The man, what's the dude name mixing Drake records? Not 40. Gadget.
Yeah.
It's a Rasta man. Yeah,
Wow.
man. You
Wow.
can't take it back
Alright.
all the way.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
And remember the whole Toronto influences all.
Yeah, and,
Jamaican.
and who
I
started
understand.
hip hop or who was a co-founder?
Kool Herc.
Cool
started
Herc.
hip-hop?
Yeah,
Kool Herc.
that's Jamaican
But
again.
I'm not talking
The
about.
new-
We
he's talking about the new
we
age.
did an episode on this on does hip hop respect dancehall? But that was we pretty much I mean, the facts pretty much state that the older artists, you know,
Drake
they
is
collaborated, but with the new school of hip hop artists, new crops up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna consider Drake the new school.
Drake's been around for decades.
Yeah.
Drake is old now.
It goes back to what y'all been saying, like bridging the gap. So like the new artists, they'll see it like they don't know the roots of where it's coming from. They just hear something and gravitate towards it. Oh, that's hot, but you don't understand the science behind why this is hot, and this is my stance on it. Like you got to study why this worked, why this record was so hot when it came out.
Yo, here's my take. I think the new kids, the new school, new generation hip hop artists, I don't think they respect Jamaican music. I think
they do.
Well, right now I'm gonna disagree because
One
right now even
record-
Afro beats.
Wait, one record just came out yesterday.
Who that?
Rest in peace, Triple X.
Yeah.
XXX.
Yeah.
Who else is on it? Lil Pump. Another.
Does he have Jamaican lineage?
Yes,
Has Jamaican like producer John FX is behind it as well.
John
And then
FX.
but again, it's the people behind the boards.
John
can't-
FX have connections. He's a Jamaican
Jamaican behind the boards.
Right.
But if you listen to that sound, then you'd consider it
And I'm
tropical
seeing that.
or
I'm
whatever.
seeing the growth of the Afrobeat and dancehall and fusion. So I'm seeing a lot of hip hop artists jumping on this Afrobeat wave. French Montana, Tory Lanez. It's like right now, all these new music has Afrobeats influence in the production.
And what influences Afrobeats?
Dancehall, of course. So
Dancehall music.
I want to say that these new school artists they're starting to respect it, and you respect something when it start producing numbers. So they're seeing that the international market is gravitating to Afrobeats. The numbers streamings are going up, so they're gonna jump on the wave.
So the problem is,
Yeah.
Jamaican artists
Gotta get their numbers up.
Jamaican artists need to sound like they from Jamaica and stop trying
I
to sound like.
think they need to just get their numbers up. They need to
No.
go about their
Yo.
business right.
So you mean
the
to tell me
dancehall
to the
infrastructure.
dancehall? So you mean to tell me to the dancehall trap right now? The Rising King, and them young youth that who's really creating waves right now? The dancehall trap.
Okay.
No, man, I said them.
So listen. How you gonna create
Said
a
the
sub?
thing tough.
How you gonna
Tough.
How you gonna create a subgenre on top of a foundation that's not there?
Hold on, reggae was the genre, right?
Yeah.
Dancehall is right. Ska was the genre. Then we had
Reggae.
with reggae and raga, and then we had so now dancehall is a subgenre. So trap hall is a subgenre.
No.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Dancehall trap
Nothing-
right now.
Nothing wrong with that.
Dancehall trap right now. With the Rising King and then you have Squash. Squash is an upcoming artist.
You're an artist. That's
I'm an artist. But what I'm saying is that I think it boils down to the generation, man. The generation. A lot of these younger Jamaican kids,
They need something to
artists,
identify with.
They're heavily influenced on the hip hop, and that's their realities. So they're fusing it.
Right.
LMR has something to say.
I
LMR.
understand.
I'm saying every artist and producer, engineer, you're just a combination of all your influences.
Exactly.
Right. So what you're saying is that these artists, they're catering towards the Jamaican people and of course the underground dancehall community's thirst for hip hop influenced music. But what about those who are not so much involved in the dancehall culture, who want that originality that brought us back in the early 90s?
Exactly.
Jamaican foreign-minded.
Well, that's why.
Nah.
That's why.
Listen,
That's why.
listen.
And
No,
Everybody
hold on,
making the music
hold
that
on.
they like. Everybody's
Yeah, right.
literally
That's what
going
I'm
to studio and
saying.
make the music
Exactly.
that they like.
Guess what?
Buddha says it all the time. There's a huge cake out there. There's a piece of pie for everyone. So those people that's wanting that sound, there's an artist providing that sound. There's a producer providing that sound.
true.
Doesn't mean every producer should provide that sound. Doesn't mean every artist should provide that sound.
And that's why everybody get
Right.
lost in what's in front of their face and what's hot right now, as opposed to doing what's and keeping the culture alive.
But how about I tell you this? There's a lot of younger kids in their early 20s. They really love the fusion music, and they hate that.
You can't say hate.
Oh,
it.
yeah.
They can't hate it.
Not that they hate it, but
It's classic to them.
Bro.
It's-
They just call
They
it.
call it-
the old. That's the
Old,
old.
right?
That's the old sound,
Old,
man.
right?
That's the old school sound.
that's
Alright.
that old school.
Alright,
It's
so
not
it's the
old
old
school.
school
Is
sound.
that it's not lit like, you know what I'm saying?
My dad listened to that.
All
Yeah,
right,
like I
listen.
said, it thing tough, tough.
I'm gonna say something right now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So listen, and it goes on the hip hop side and on the dancehall side. So when you have a stage show performance, right, and somebody about to perform, what's the number one rhythm they're gonna throw on? Short time.
Yeah, the foundation.
To make somebody freestyle, right?
Because you got the energy. The energy is just different.
All right, listen. So like,
and
it goes back to
another reason too, though, because most of the producers they don't want to download a bunch of these new rhythms either.
No, it's not about
because
that.
Remember those songs used to have
Trilogy.
No, listen, those rhythms had like about 50 artists on them.
Yeah.
So so now these new rhythms are mostly singles.
Yeah.
So you ain't gonna give an artist a single rhythm.
That's why I said it go back to a vibe, because you could throw in the Showtime rhythm and anybody could vibe on it.
You can see talent on that rhythm.
That's not true.
What?
Not anybody can vibe
You
on that.
bugging.
Because you have.
So you're not an artist then?
No, I can't. Right. You can't say that either.
Nah.
No,
if
that's
you can't vibe on the Showtime rhythm, you're not an artist.
So you telling
Hang
me?
it up.
No. So you telling me? Oh, so you one of those guys?
You're not a dancehall artist.
So you have.
You're not a Jamaican artist.
Hold on. You have rappers, right? Who are mumble rappers, or so you guys want to call it?
Listen,
and they can't. They're not able to ride on.
But I didn't go to my second point.
Right.
So I said the Jamaican side, right? Anybody want to freestyle, they throw the Showtime rhythm on.
Right.
So and I pay attention to everybody that go and do an interview on hip hop, when they throw the beat on, all the beat they throw on
Old school.
It's old school.
Yeah.
From
with the new kids.
No, listen. It's
not everybody able
bro,
to. Yeah.
All the beats is from like 96
Dated.
to 2001.
Dated.
That's it. Nobody's freestyling on beats
when you want
after that.
Devil's advocate, brother.
Yeah.
Sometime when a man go to perform, a DJ might not have his rhythm, and they might not draw for Showtime or Punani or one of them. They're gonna play whatever.
So if you
have.
can't do that, you're not an artist.
They can't say that.
No,
can't say that. Nah,
listen,
because you have some artist. Weeknd is an artist, right? You think Weeknd could come on a
any artist can
who the singer?
I think it's a generational thing, man.
What I'm saying is a sound.
I think it's a generational thing again.
No, listen up. Every artist has a sound. Your sound cannot fit on every rhythm.
No.
Yes,
listen.
every artist has.
if you're that talented, any song
It took me years to
True.
appreciate Future's music.
But
and Future's like a damn near legend in that little sector
Bro,
right now.
because you know why? You know why I say that?
I'm like, what the hell is he doing? Because it wasn't my generation, but I realized that, every generation has their different. I feel them thing that.
Right.
Nah, but you know why? You know why I disagree, because when I was coming up and I was listening to Hot 97, and the artists came up to do freestyle, those beats that came out in that era, that's what they freestyle to.
Yeah.
And you know that.
I was around for that.
You know that.
That's like saying.
I was around for that.
That's like saying, give 50 cents let's say a big Sugar Daddy Kane beat.
No,
that's a great point too.
Like what the hell you don't
give
want,
him a beat from the generation
the
before him.
You want 50 Cent on a I don't even know the flow from back in those days. It was more like 1, 2,
you don't know
to the 4. I come through the door, hit you with the 4. You want 50 Cent? You really want 50 Cent to rhyme on that? Guys? Come on,
I'm not.
I need love.
Everybody has a sound. You don't.
It's not about a sound, bro. I'm talking about an era and a vibe. You misrepresenting what I'm trying to say.
But I'm saying why?
But you can't. All right.
Yeah.
You can't knock an era then, because that is that era. Then this is a new era. Then
I'm never.
What I'm saying.
Listen,
generation.
That's what I'm saying. I'm never knocking that
I'm gonna
era.
keep saying that.
But I'm just trying to put it
But you
together.
can't measure his talent because he can't rhyme on your era.
A different vibe, different.
He's in a different era now.
All right, so
So
explain
you
this
can't
to
say,
me.
oh, he's not hot because he can't rhyme on my
All
era.
right, so
type
explain
of
this to me. Why people go on Funk Flex right now doing freestyles from beats from 10 years ago?
Because they want to gain. They want to gain
Pause.
old kids. That's why they're doing on the old rhythms.
Flex on them. They're not allowed to actually pick which rhythm they want. Sometimes it's whichever beat they throw on.
It's not only,
I've seen Flex throw on Drake instrumentals for people.
I've
seen Flex throw on old school shit. It's just whatever it is.
I'm just saying.
No,
I'm just using Flex as an example.
Flex is trying to throw you up.
Any DJ could freestyle whatever beats they
Flex
have.
want to see if you're real. Flex want to see if you got that talent that he.
If you're more than just the beat.
If you're versatile,
All right. So show me right now where anybody put on a Migos beat and somebody freestyle to it, and I'll shut up.
They do that.
I'll shut up.
I've seen that.
Show it to me.
I've seen it.
Show it to me, and I'll shut up.
I mean, I can't go on my phone and Google it right now,
Yo,
but
don't
I've
worry,
seen
y'all.
it.
I'll throw it up in the clip.
Yo, he's gonna throw it, but I've seen it.
Show
I've
it to
seen
me.
So let's kind of get back on track. So 20 as we speak at the moment right now, it's music. It's like it's fusion. It's a lot of fusion going on right now, and as you can see, the conversation right now is spirited with back to the roots and back to this. Guess what? The same arguments we're having right here is the same arguments they're having back. I read an article earlier. It's the same arguments they're having back in Nigeria with the reggaeton. No, with the with the Afrobeats, with the Azanto and the Azanto kind of transcended and it changed. And they're saying that this is not really our music. But guess what? That music they're making is appealing to the masses,
Right.
And that's the music that's reaching us.
Right.
Meanwhile,
They're upset.
The natives, they're upset
because it's not original.
because it's not original.
Right.
So I mean, I think it boils down to globalization.
Yes.
It's globalization,
I agree.
and with the times.
Listen,
Definitely got to agree
it's
with you
nothing-
on the change of the time.
There's nothing
Because,
wrong
like
with
I said,
globalization, but listen,
Right.
my point is Jamaicans are not being globalized for their music right now.
What do you mean?
Right.
Speak
No,
more on that.
deeper in the music.
Oh,
bro.
I mean, Hood Celebrity got the walking trophy. We have Magnum, Dovey Magnum with the Barlow.
That's a good
We have
segue.
Kranium with the Nobody Has to Know.
Good
and
segue.
Other records. He even had the new one right now, Digga Digga Ling or what's the
That's a good
All right,
segue.
Sit down.
I gotta ask.
Sit down, yeah, sit down.
I gotta ask LMR Trilogy about this one. What do you think about the business model for the music right now with the reggae and the dancehall? Because back in the days, if you're a reggae dancehall artist and you reside overseas, people will tell you that I forgot yard go boss.
True.
You know what I mean, boy.
The whole right now.
Better you get a 9 to 5 and now go work for you. Got yard. But guess what? In recent years, and LMR, I'm gonna say, that was iconic for what you did. I'm gonna call LMR. 10 years from now, we're gonna say LMR. And I'm not saying that because you're family. The work that you put in right now, that's iconic because Kranium boss from New York
and Hood Celebrity busting after and Dovey
But
Mac.
we're gonna talk about
It's
after.
just after it. So it's like you paved that way.
Pretty much paved the way, and then
let's not leave out Ricky Blaze as well.
Ricky Blaze,
right? And
Shaggy.
Recently, I'm realizing a lot of reggae records were actually recorded in New York City. Some
I believe
like a lot of from Philip Smart Studio and a lot of that. Like if you do the research, a lot of the hits,
I heard Chuck
were
Fender
from New York.
Chuck Fender
City.
was also an artist that
Is
was
the,
from
is
here.
the person behind the board sometimes.
Enough song, but
So, what do you think about the landscape of the music right now? So if you're an artist and you're based in New York City, or you're based whatever your locale is, not even in the States, wherever. What do you think about their prospects of actually, getting big?
Getting big.
You know what I'm saying? What do you think about the importance of actually going to Jamaica? Do you have to still go to Jamaica, or do you or you could just release your music on social media and just keep putting in the work?
I mean, Jamaica is the core.
Yeah.
Forever be the core. That's the origin, but you can make it from anywhere. The whole world is like a single community now, just because of electronic media.
Right.
If I put a record out right now, anywhere you are in the world, you can hear it and get it on your phone or wherever. Stream it, buy it.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole business model has changed.
That's true.
What Jamaica need to do is like help the industry and like free up a lot of the artists.
Yeah.
Popcorn has never been to America. Like Tamale, all of these people who don't have a visa. Like,
but that's bigger than Jamaica.
Yeah.
That's bigger than Jamaica though.
But Jamaica as a country, and if you see music as something that is good for your culture, something that is there. That's the reason why a lot of the songs don't cross over. The artists can't travel.
They're not capitalizing. I agree.
Everybody else is.
I don't see government using music as a resource for the economy, but it is bringing money into the economy, but they don't utilize it as they should. I agree with you.
Now, you said that's why a lot of artists aren't bigger, because them can't travel and all these different things. Yeah. There was a recent article in the Rolling Stones magazine, and it's titled, "Why Isn't Jamaican Dancehall Music Bigger in the U.S.?" What do you think?
I mean, remember I said when the Dudders thing happened, there was several artists that automatically lost their privileges to travel abroad.
Before that, a lot of them just don't get work permits. Sometimes people... A known artist that that is traveling now is probably on another known artist work permit. That's crap.
Is
Well,
that
Let me for free that job.
is that an individual bad mind thing, or is it like
That's just the government. I don't know how the government can help or make that a better situation, but they need to.
Yeah, definitely.
And then there was I think it was Ricky Blaze they sourced in the article. Ricky Blaze said that Jamaican music is like pretty much in the mainstream. It's like a summertime thing.
Right.
Every couple of years,
I read the article.
there's a big song. This year was Hood Celebrity. It was her summer.
Before that, it was Broke Off Your Buck.
Broke Off Your Buck. And then once it reached the fall, then you don't really hear about Jamaican music. And it's true because Hood, as we speak right now, what's today's date? 27th October?
Yeah.
The Hood's the walking trophy kind of like tapered off.
Yeah, definitely.
But
And we don't
paying attention to one record. She just come up with an EP. She come up with some other vibes.
I listened to her EP.
She's on a
Her
record with
EP is
Tory
actually
Lane.
good.
She's on a record with Tory Lane. She's on the new Lil Kim record. She's doing other stuff.
She's doing her thing, but is it really? I mean,
No, but it takes time. It takes time.
Brother, no
Everything
song
takes
is a
time.
hit until people like it.
Yeah, and then it also takes time for you to push it. You know.
Yeah, and a lot of them, like a lot of people, aren't here to
And
promote
we see
their
that all the
records.
time. You
Yeah.
see Donut drop. Even right now, he dropped Benzema on Finessing. It's right now it's good, but trust me, when he worked that record, by 5 months from now, it'd be a massive record. Even same thing like I saw enough for them stairs. So remember that
That took a while.
That dropped now, and
that
then
song,
the bus.
that song
and then
that
the
take
bus,
about 6-7
and then the
months
bus
to
till like
reach.
Mia June. So
Yeah, man.
I don't
Remember that
think
song, man?
Huh?
I don't think States will take that long.
It did take long,
time,
yeah. It was a video that actually.
The video make it reach.
video. Cause remember say the song did.
Yeah, man.
Remember say when he just dropped the song, they thought it was a diss to Ding Dong because Ding Dong they dropped this thing say
When
on
are
a
you
Gary.
forgetting all of that?
Yeah, but anyway, so the song did drop and it was like out for 5-4 months on mixtapes, not really going nowhere.
The reason why States so kind of probably appeal to us over here because Busy is now free to travel. You get me? Busy could have been in Jamaica with the same bad song.
True that.
I mean, Fever, Cartel in
campaign-
jail. Fever was one of those two that was playing on Hot 97.
Even on
But he wasn't here to
K1's
promote it. He's there, you get me?
Right,
So
right.
him being here and being able to help market, meet all of these curators
Right.
and show up on the shows and stuff like that, that's what help it. A lot of the artists being here would make a difference.
Yeah, man. So, LMR, I gotta ask you this. So, what do you think about the local? All right, so Kranium, Kranium boss. He's a legitimate star right now. He might do him thing.
And that I can't fully take credit for Kranium by myself. You know, it's everybody play them part.
Right.
From producer, then it goes to the DJs and the DJ playing it in the club and the DJ playing it on the radio. And then him doing what he did his part, I did my part. That's not me by myself.
Well,
Clearly.
the sound is what.
It's a team effort. But what I'm saying is that kind of opened doors for others.
It just inspired other people to realize so you don't have to be at a particular place.
Right.
It kind of opened doors for others. So, what do you think about the landscape of music? We can only speak about our locale. You know, we're based in New York, and there's a lot of artists in the different urban communities in Caribbean, Florida, Boston, wherever they are. What do you think about the landscape right now? Like, I know there's a lot of artists. Is there anyone particular who you feel, how do you feel about the vibe right now? Because enough man's a Kranium boss, Hood Celebrity boss. Who else?
Right now, Chaos is next. Chaos?
Yeah, man.
Chaos is
I
next.
can't name drop.
I
cannot name drop anybody because I work with a lot of upcoming
Because
artists.
enough people.
I can't leave anybody out.
And they're coming. Brother, you hear me I say?
Chaos, I have a new single, Chaos though. Chaos was, I recorded Chaos' very first song in it.
Yeah.
His first time ever record
Chaos.
ever. Like,
Chaos,
and he's
I
doing
know,
good. He's written.
Yeah, man.
He's written for a lot of different people. He's doing well. The only thing that he's missing is really like a team.
Honestly, I don't think I've listened. The only Chaos thing when we really listen to, I will name it Anarchy. Anarchy, they have a song with Chaos.
Chaos have a tune right
and
now.
then the verse, maybe read the verse, but I never really.
You talk about that. Right now, he have a song that's buzzing. He has a song on my mind. It's buzzing. It's buzzing. I don't mean. When we say that, I'm not saying
give it a listen.
And I'm not saying it. Produced by LMR. And I'm just saying it because it's right on that pinnacle of buzzing.
Yeah.
I'm telling you from a real standpoint, seeing it. Yeah.
So there's a lot of artists because with the local artists in the New York tri-state area, Florida, wherever they are, I mean, they see Kranium. Kranium is a big time. He's big time right now. No matter travel the world.
But with the internet, nobody's local.
Right.
Everybody
True.
want to be the next Kranium.
Right.
Or the next Duffy Magnum.
Right.
You see me I say? And many of them are coming to you. Because you know, obviously it worked for him, so they want to come to you.
There's levels to it, though. 'Cause look at what was the last dancehall or reggae record that got like a gold plaque,
Shaggy.
platinum
Oh,
plaque?
gold.
Like,
Shaggy,
you understand?
Shaggy
Like
Diamond.
in US, not outside of that. 'Cause even what's his Charlie Blacks.
Linky.
Charlie Blacks got
Charlie
what?
Blacks.
What did he get?
I think he might have got platinum.
Couple
I think
times,
it was-
couple times platinum.
No, it was Diamond, but
Diamond.
Diamond.
No,
But that
but
was for
also-
a different country.
also
That's
no-
a different thing.
Also, Omi.
Omi didn't. I don't think Omi went platinum.
He did. Yeah,
No?
yeah, he went platinum.
I thought he was big
He
time.
did. He did go
I
platinum.
don't remember. Like
He
all
did,
of
he
those.
did.
Those are the stats on the board that we need to pay attention
He
to.
did
Like
go platinum.
promote the songs until they reach to that point.
Right.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah, and I agree with you, 100%.
Yeah, man. So Trilogy, what do you think about the hip hop artists or the hip hop? They kind of like I think they have 1 foot in, 1 foot out when it comes to the Jamaican sound. Like they sample the music. I spoke about it earlier. I feel like they're sampling the music, but they're not really doing enough collabs. Back in the day, the hip hop artists, Nas, for example, he did a whole album with Damian Marley.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you will see the dancehall artists on the hip hop programs or whatever. But nowadays it's like they kind of want the flavor.
I want to ask. I'm not. So Trilogy, which artists on your radar you think could do a song with a hip hop artist right now?
Great question.
And it go platinum.
Great question.
The only artist I think could do it, and he did it already, was Agent Sasco.
So you don't. No one else right now.
Nah, I don't.
You think about Popcorn?
Nah.
You think
I
Popcorn?
mean, he got the Drake plug, so you know.
but by himself, you don't think he has it?
Nah.
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 Who else?
Without the Drake plug, he ain't gonna do it.
I mean, I agree with you with Agent Sasco, just because that's one of my favorites. But you don't think? How about like a Christopher Martin, Roman Virgo? Could you? How about yourself? But you think any artists?
Any artist right now?
Yeah.
That could go.
Well, before we ask you, because you have a lot of insight, LMR, any artists you
I'm
think?
not going to name drop a soul. However, like anybody can do it, brother. Anybody.
Yeah, until they do it, it's like,
the one I get some political correct answer.
I mean, Romain Virgo, you call his name like him.
Yeah, that's one.
Like when you talk about like voices, like imagine him as a reggae artist singing like on a contributor or something. Like put him in Tennessee or
right.
introduce him to a different market. They're gonna like him.
There's like one artist right now in American Voice, so it's like with
I don't know.
But he's a Jamaican based artist and he has a phenomenal voice. Bounty Killer just posted him actually this week.
Who that?
I forgot his name. I can look it up, but he's a unknown artist. But he's rising up. You know, like American Idol had a show. There's a voice or something.
He's
like
been
that.
on my timeline.
Yeah, he's huge and his voice is phenomenal.
He's a vocalist.
Yeah,
he's on one of those American Idol
and
shows.
he's
What is it?
a really odd man. I don't know, like no.
Yeah, anybody can do it right now. Until it's done, it's just keep promoting, keep marketing, keep doing what you have to do.
All right, I got this burning question, and we did a whole episode on this. Episode 6. Would you say there's one reggae, or there's reggae on the left and dancehall on the right? Would you say it's just reggae music altogether, or reggae and dancehall is separate?
Me?
Yeah,
Answer that
LMR
question.
first, and then Trilogy.
For us here that are from Jamaica, that have Jamaican influence and backgrounds, you can speak on like the scare, the reggae, dancehall. When you talk about the bigger picture with labels and iTunes, it's just reggae. Dancehall is reggae. Afrobeat, there's no subgenre, there's no soca subgenre. Everything is considered reggae.
Yeah, but you have some people who feel say, yo, I see the regular on my timeline. Some people feel say, yo, reggae is just Chronics and the Roots, Kabaka Pyramid.
But like Elmar said, you're speaking. These people are particular,
Right.
Caribbean, who knows.
Yeah.
Cause you have some people who just like one drop music, you know.
You have people like dancehall, you have people like Afro.
And then you have people who just like dancehall. You know what I'm saying? So you have some people who feel that there's a case in point. I put up on my Instagram account at Reggae Music Forever. I put up something a couple of days ago, and somebody wrote, "That's not reggae." I think it was I remember now. It was a Shano. Shano was on BBC with He was doing some freestyle
Shawnee B.
with Shawnee B.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, which was a great freestyle.
Yeah,
Shayna's a bad artist, yeah.
Shayna's a bad artist, and I love his resurgence. But anyway, he was doing a freestyle with Shawnee B, and you know, I think it was a dope freestyle. Shayna also said that, yo, I don't do these things anymore. I'm a sing now. Shayna is all about the melody and all them kind of time change.
Me and you always have a walk about that. You have a sing.
That's a whole nother episode.
Have a sing.
Yeah, man.
don't have to.
Shayna pretty much said that, yo, I don't DJ anymore. I sing now. Because I sing the thing, like, yo, it's all about singing now.
Melody. It's about
Melody.
Yeah.
Anyway, so somebody came on my page and was like, yeah, that's great, but that's not reggae. That's not reggae.
There's a reggae artist over hip hop beat, if you want to get technical.
And Shayna up on bars. Rub off the field, some.
That's reggae, and I'm singing.
And a man come on and say, yo, that's great, but that's not reggae. And I say, yo, dude, dancehall is reggae and reggae is dancehall. You have some people who really don't subscribe to the dancehall, and they're all about the roots and the one drop knocking, and they don't really like the dancehall. And they feel like there's reggae's over there and there's dancehall over there.
Can I give you a little example?
Yeah, man.
All right. I got a couple of my American friends, right? Case in point, my barber, Sensei, yo, big him up.
Yeah, man. Big up Sensei.
Big up Sensei.
Dog, family.
Yeah, the one get a nice shape up. Where the barber shop there again?
Next barbershop.
Yeah, man.
Where there?
Next
barber shop on Avenue L
in
and
Brooklyn.
Canarsie somewhere.
Family.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So
nice
one of the things he always get into back and forth is the difference between house and dance. The difference between house music, dance music, trance. And to us, the untrained ear, you know what I mean? It all sounds the same.
Yeah. I don't know the difference.
Right. So when we say it's, to us, we could look and say it's one music. So the outside people, they can say, yo, reggae, dancehall, or whatever, it's one music. Other people saying it's one music. So who is it that's determining that it's different? The genres is different.
That's other people who know the music. People who grew up on the music knows the diversions, they know the differences.
Right.
Now the people outside of the music who just getting music on an international base level, they're just gonna say, "Oh, reggae is reggae." Soca. They might think a soca song is reggae. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Trilogy, what do you think? Trilogy, what do you think? You think there's a reggae over there and then there's a dancehall over there, or you think it's just one?
As far as the people that understand the culture, it's a divide. But if you're talking about people that
on the
outside looking in, it's all one.
Yeah.
Right.
One's
from
just
reggae,
one's slow, one's
Afrobeat,
it's the same thing like hip hop.
reggaeton, everything is because it's all in the same family.
It's Caribbean music.
You have some people who subscribe just to the roots, just to the one drop on the roots.
That's more on.
They consider that reggae.
That's marginalized though. That's like more.
It's like
that's more for people.
And to the dancehall thing, they don't really like it because they don't get them energy.
No,
but that's a small.
But for real, what you said was true. Yeah. It's just like you said about hip hop. You could say, "Yo, there's trap."
Right. Then there's mumble rap. Then there's hip hop. There's rap. There's hardcore rap. But on the big scale, on the charts, it's all hip hop, right? So
yeah, man.
I mean, it is.
Yeah, man. But yo, I think we pretty much covered everything. You guys, Trilogy, you want to. Any partner words? Any plugs?
I seen you talking about
studio coming up.
I seen you got talking about an upcoming big song you got going on. We want to hear that loud and proud.
We're gonna talk about
that.
We got
that talk. I see you secured the bag.
I'm lost right now.
Nah, I seen you play a post. He was like, "Yo, I just secured a bag. It's secured, and I got a big major artist about to be on one of my productions. I peep."
What up? There's so many.
Talk up, man.
You feel the need to speak up, or are you gonna hold out?
Nah, it's secured. The Redman joint.
Redman, legendary,
wow,
iconic.
And yo, that's massive because all night you talking about the old school. So that's old school, and that's the real hip hop.
And listen, it goes back to everything I said. Like all the artists that I've done work with is from the old school.
Right.
Chris Brown
is from the old school.
Right.
50 Cent is
Chris Brown. Yo, Chris Brown been around. Oh,
Chris Brown been around as long as me.
Chris Breezy.
Chris Brown, I forgot. Chris Brown been around for like at least a decade now.
He came in the game early though.
Yeah,
he came in
Chris
early.
Brown is still pretty young. He's not that old.
So
he's not even 30. Is he 30 yet?
What same age?
Just about 30.
So
yeah.
my credits is Chris Brown, 50 Cent, Uncle Murda, Talib Kweli, Redman.
Oh man, that's an impressive resume.
So that's that's awesome. That's
who
amazing.
else?
Get the strap.
I be forgetting.
Get the strap.
Fabulous. Don't forget
Oh,
Fabulous.
Fabulous.
Oh, Fab.
I remember when we was in Mexico.
Yeah,
and
the
you
record
got
drop.
that record drop. Your head was in the phone all this trip. I'm like, yo, come on, let's enjoy ourselves. You like, nah, you don't understand.
Nah,
You
that was
understand.
big.
Fab drop. What was the name?
Fab,
of
one of my favorite
Team Liddy.
rappers.
Huh? Team
Liddy.
Liddy. Go
Yeah,
check
yeah,
that out on
that
the
was
mix.
the
The
mix-
last
that was the
mixtape. Was the next
Summertime
mixtape?
Shootout.
Summertime Shootout 2.
Yeah.
Check it.
Yeah, man. So,
I got a lot of placements under my belt. I'm just trying to get to the next one.
but yo, the thing I read about Trilogy. That's my friend from we were kids, from we were teens and shit. Trilogy, like this dude is super humble because Get the Strap with 50 Cent right now is one of the
Massive.
biggest. Not only the song
Massive.
itself,
But all the big
the slang, everything
but
in hip hop culture right
all
now.
the big heads that's on it. Tekashi 6ix9ine is like he's winning right
They-
now.
I saw some shit the other day that said he's a king of New York right now in hip hop.
Styles P. Somebody said it.
Yeah.
Somebody co-signed.
Yeah.
Jim Jones. He agreed. He
Jim
said,
Jones.
Yeah.
Like Trilogy pretty much.
Trilogy is the king of New York in the hip hop world.
But what I'm saying is that what I'm saying is
Yo,
that
talk that talk, man. Troll.
No, but one thing I know about Trilogy, he's a very humble
man.
person. He's a very humble person because somebody else with his accolades and his repertoire, his catalog, they would have been on some other shit right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Well, I mean, his price is talking that talk.
but guess
if you're
what?
an
You don't know
artist-
that though.
If you're an artist, you got to talk.
You don't.
big
But you don't know that though.
You have to talk from your chest.
You don't know
can't
that
talk
though.
from your belly.
Trilogy could have walked in here right now with jewels and
Dripping.
But that's
Dripping.
Yo, same thing with LMR.
And
I mean,
I'm gonna get to LMR.
But literally, from what I've seen, I've noticed from producers, they're usually humble as far as when it comes to
Not all of them.
Not all, but majority of them.
Not all of them, bro.
I think that's just your experience.
Not all of them.
My experience.
A lot of producers nowadays.
'Cause-
I read something. I don't know. I was watching some shit about the then producers and now producers. Now producers, they like to be the front man. Many of them. Back then,
I don't think it's like.
you don't even know what Dave Kelly looked like.
I think it's a transition. I don't even think it's that
No,
they
listen.
like.
Dave Kelly,
No, I
one
don't
of the
think-
most prolific
No,
dancehall
what I'm
reggae
saying is,
producers.
I don't
What
think
he
that.
look like.
I
What does he
don't
look
think.
like?
No, what I'm saying is, I don't think that they liked to be. I think it's a transition of times, right? With social media, as a producer, you have to put yourself out there to get the people, the business.
I'm gonna give you an example.
Yeah.
People, I'm gonna give you behind the scenes people. When behind the scenes before we start recording, dance, I say, "Yo, LMR, come in." I say, LMR is not that kind of dude. He's
Yeah,
more laid back.
I had to tell downtown like, cool down, cool down.
more laid- LMR like to
cool,
just
chill,
be
and
easy.
humble, yeah.
Yeah, man. So
Well,
LMR.
on that note, I want you to start glowing a little bit. Tell me about some of your projects coming out. You know,
What you got coming up? You know, who you working with? You know what I mean? 2019, all that shit.
Can't
Yeah,
discuss anything.
I heard there's a one of the Bobs them. I don't know. Nothing. No, you know.
Can't speak on too much, but there's a Spragga album coming, and the only other producer that's on that.
God, Cleed. That's iconic
Trilogy.
shit right now.
Jeez.
It's only me and him on that.
Spragga Benz. That's one of my favorite dancehall artists ever. Red Square.
Come on, Spragga.
I always will be there.
Top tier.
Yeah,
Bunch
man,
of different singles. You already know Kranium Works coming. Has a new project coming, probably top of the year too.
Jano. But yo, this episode, Jano, I had fun with this episode, man.
Yeah, it was
And-
awesome, man.
Yeah, man. But yo, episode 7 is pretty much it's pretty much a wrap.
I mean,
So like we always.
Yeah.
So yeah, I said.
I was saying, what would you say you got out of this discussion? Like, what was the major keys, major points?
I got great insights from Trilogy and LMR. They kind of have different philosophies when it comes to reggae music, reggae dancehall music. Trilogy clearly like the old school stuff. LMR is more like I won't say new school, but he likes the fusion.
No, I say it's who's behind the boards.
Who's behind the boards?
Behind the boards, right.
Who's behind the
Whoever
boards?
is pushing the button, whoever is hitting that drum
Right,
pad, that's
right.
who make the sound.
That's
Whatever their influence is, that is what's going to come out.
Yeah, man. And I really, what really influenced this episode is that I really wanted to appeal to the people. I really wanted to appeal to the people who constantly complain about the sound of the music changing. You know,
But the people not doing their research.
It's not good anymore. It's not nice anymore. This is not reggae music. It's not dancehall.
There's dancehall that's still sounding the same being produced. There's reggae. There's scam music. There's artists doing this and upholding it. It's just who they're listening to. Yeah. Search for them and find them out there.
Yeah, man. But I must say that the fusion music is really, really creating waves right now. And it's not really only the Jamaican artists who are fusing hip hop and other genres with their music. It's the Afrobeats who are fusing their music. It's the Latin artists who are fusing their music. It's the Brazilian artists who are fusing. I mean, it goes on and on and on. So at this time, what's going on in the space with the dancehall space and other spaces, it's all about fusion. And I think the reason for that fusion is with the landscape changing, with the rise of the internet. Like LMR said earlier, it's the world is just one big community.
Yeah, but to the world, it all is the same thing. To the world, looking music. Outside in. Right. Whether it's from Brazil,
it's one music.
Africa, wherever.
One reggae.
Because the sound is so close knit together.
Right.
They don't know how to decipher. All right, this is from here. This is from here. Like how we would.
I mean, we're hardcore fans. I mean, so people like us are hardcore fans, so we would differentiate.
And two of the dopest dancehall artists to me are from Ghana. What's his name? Shatta Wale. Stone Boy. Yeah, I'd consider them dancehall artists.
Right, I agree.
Yeah, man. But yo, on that note, like we end every episode, yeah, man. Reggae Talk episode 7 is in the books. Build each other up and don't tear each other down. In the name of reggae and dancehall music, one love, one culture.
Before we get out of here, let's have everyone give their social media plugs. You know what I'm saying? AKA for real. You know, you can't follow me.
Trilogy.
Know the thing though.
Trilogy Music. Trilogy MUZIK.
At LMR Pro.
Make sure if you come into them artists, you come into them talking that business, you know, grease the bag, the grease, you know. Don't
Not even about that money. Talent more important.
Talent, that's true too.
You already know.
You don't, because that's one thing I appreciate about LMR.
He never work with artists that
right. He wants his name attached to quality, and that's your brand. You got to be able to stand behind
your brand.
So look out when I say that. Look out for a record with For Real and LMR.
You know the thing, For Real LMR.
Sure. I mean, to plug, For Real is probably the dopest dancehall artist out of Brooklyn right now.
Bop.
You hear that? I mean, no, LMR not saying that because you're a friend.
No, I don't know anybody else repping Brooklyn that's dope like that.
You hear that? And you can follow me. You can follow me at Reggae Music Forever. Yeah, man. And you can also follow the podcast page at Reggae Talk and follow our social media at Reggae Talk. We're on SoundCloud at Reggae Music Forever. What am I say? Dancehall. Follow Dancehall Dave, our executive producer, at Dancehall_Dave on the social media, on Instagram.
Y'all hit me, y'all better come with that bag.
Come with that bag.
I don't even care about the talent.
Come with that bag.
Sometimes we turn down the back there.
Man say, yo, you can be whack. Just come with that bag.
Come with that bag.
You already know.
Once you come with that bag, then we could talk. Then I can give the bag back and be like, all right, I believe you. Yeah. Just to talk to me, you got to come with that bag.
Even to say hi.
Enough work, much.
Yeah. Come on, man.
You already know.
Even though me face hard times, me have to give thanks cause of my life, Every single day goes by, me have to give thanks cause of my life, me alright. Even though me face hard times, me have to give thanks cause of my life, Every single day goes by, me have to give thanks cause of my life, me alright. Foreign life, never easy.